Liftoff.
The conquest of space made the world smaller, and now the conquest of time has made our lives smaller. We live after the conquering of time, but before its resurrection. In the meantime, make some time for time to control you. Be bored, miss out, fall behind, feel time passing. Lose track of time while experiencing only what your body can alone. You might not have the time of your life, but you'll have more time of your life. I'll see you next time. A temporal illusion is a distortion of our sense of time.
It's turbo time!
Or the strange way time seems to sneak by. I know how time works, but yet I don't. Let's begin with the different ways there are to feel time. Actually sitting down and consciously tuning into the passage of time as it happens is called feeling time prospectively. You can't do that to time that's already happened, except you can by feeling time retrospectively, by measuring it as it appears in your memory. An exciting day at your destination can seem to fly by. Those feelings are all prospective timing. These are the long-short and short-long patterns of felt time.
Rick and Morty time!
While I was there, time dragged very, very slowly.
Time is on my side. Yes, it is.
And that there's still a lot of time left.
Well, it's believed that prospective time feels fast when an activity is full because you're not busy thinking about time. If you're not attending to it, you're busy with something else, well, you won't notice how much time has passed. Does time speed up as we get older? A popular explanation is the proportion theory. It suggests that time seems to speed up as we age because each new unit of time that we live is smaller relative to all the time that came before. Over time, our specific daily perceptions of what happened conglomerate into generalized ideas about how things were.
It's turbo time!
It's turbo time!
Periodization is the chopping up of time into contrived pieces like the Stone Age, the Renaissance, the 80s, the 90s.
The coming age of space.
And remembers feeling at that time that the moon landing was old. We lack an ability to sense and grasp long periods of time,
It's turbo time!
to place them relative to each other in time. If our concepts of two things suggest wildly different times, it's natural to assume that a lot of things happened between them. Alternatively, if our concepts aren't too different, the time between them must be bare of events. The construal level heuristic, a technique whereby we place things in time based on whether we construe them concretely or abstractly, making it feel further back in time than it really is.
I'll be back in time.
Our construal level heuristic will make it feel closer in time than it really is. Our third illusion of time comes from the fact that time is always moving forward.
It's muffin time!
The belief that your place in time is stable is what I call the chronostatic illusion. The mechanisms I use to place things in time, considering the temporal perspectives of other people, leads us to a fourth distortion, the chronocentric illusion. The belief that our own relationship to time is the best or only frame of reference.
It's turbo time!
What the heck did they do with their free time? But I remember a time before the internet. And when I tell her about a time when no one had the internet, the movie of the universe began when you began. That the times of your life are the plot and contain the climax.
That was the day I invented time travel.
So you've just invented time travel. Well done, you clever little sausage.
Can we go anywhere we want at any time?
But the arbitrary technical properties of a time's recording media can influence our perception of the past nonetheless. When I was in high school, I saw 2001's Pipe Dream for the first time, and it blew my mind. At a time zoo, This isn't some pageant with timeless ambitions. It's a view out the window of a time machine they don't know is there.
So really, let's assume your time machine isn't a teleporter, but something friendly like a closed time-like curve or a wormhole or whatever.
People in old photos look like serious robots because back then, you had to stay in the same pose for a long time to get a picture taken, captured in a medium that was rare at the time but more common now.
Time is an illusion that helps things make sense.
Watching it isn't exactly like time traveling back to 1993, but
Before going back in time, why not make sure you stay the fuck alive?
Time travel claimed.
that's part of the allure of time travel. But it hasn't always been that way. Time travel wasn't a common feature of fiction until the 19th century.
But it's your time machine, do whatever. Off your fuck then.
History reached a speed at which static or cyclical views of time had to be replaced with our modern view. As technological and social change accelerate, the window of time within which things can be trusted to remain stable shrinks. To achieve this salvation, we try to make things faster and easier to save time. But one of the greatest hoodwinks we ever pulled on ourselves was not noticing that the things we do to save time leave us with less of it and more alone in it.
As God Emperor of Time.
It's in our hands and outside of time. Things used to acquire signs of age, veneers that tucked them appropriately into their place in time. Digital spaces are so packed with timeless messages between bygone people that we don't even ask, "Is anyone here?" anymore. Instead, we ask, "Is anyone now?"
Slowly accelerate the passage of time. Day and night will begin to pass visibly in front of you until the sun appears a single golden line across the twilight sky.
Remember the short long and long short patterns of time? Well, a new pattern has been emerging and growing in frequency. Short, short. It was first observed in people watching TV alone. They reported feeling like time flew by quickly. Oh, wow, have I really been watching for 4 hours? They didn't attend to the passing of time during it. They didn't feel bored or like time dragged.
The problem with humanity? Too much freedom and leisure time.
Streams of experience provide a fullness that makes time fly by. But retrospectively, they don't fill up a lot of space. They burn our time on both ends.
It's turbo time!
Odd thing,
But ultimately, asking why does gravity slow time is a bit backwards. A better question may be, why does slowed time cause gravity? You're held in your chair right now by the curvature in time. In short, you're held down because your butt is ticking faster than your head. And I'll show you exactly why that's true real soon, when we explore the tangled connections between time and gravity in a curved spacetime.
here we have velocity in meters away from me per second, and we have time in seconds since the hug ended. All times actually traveling a bit faster because you weren't traveling 2 meters per second this entire time. You were actually speeding up, covering more and more distance. Now, let's divide this graph up into strips of equal time. Perfect. All right, now, as we know, the distances traveled during their respective time intervals.
The fingerprints of science and philosophy born long before its time.
Because this velocity line has a constant slope, it rises the same amount per time elapsed all the time. So we have 2 of them, and we have 2 of them 1 time. We have doubled it, well, once and then twice, so 2 times.
I hope you had the time of your life.
Time. Unlimited rice pudding.
Time.
Unlimited rice pudding. Unlimited rice pudding.